What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Real Down. Y'all hadn't seen me lately, and
Yeah, hiding.
yeah, I've been a little bit busy, but I'm your host, Jimmy Skinner. With me over here is a better looking version of Garrett.
Yeah, I
He's
guess
going to
so.
be the silent type co-host. He's not going to speak too much, I don't think, but
Yeah, we got Mini G here,
at least he
or
looks. At
Walker.
least he's cute. So
He's watching Dancing Fruit on the screen. That's why he's looking at it,
that's awesome.
reaching
Wait,
for whatever he can get.
so yeah, normally when you come and tune into the Real Down, you're catching some kind of tournament talk or tournament recap. Big trails around the country, national trail stuff. Today, this is our last show before the end of the year and the Christmas break that Paddle and Fin takes every year. I know it's kind of seemed like we've been on a break a little bit already, but uh, Garrett has a new baby, and my wife just had our new baby, so it just so
Yeah, we
happened
had
that we
some
did
end of the
not
year.
plan that out well with both of us having kids the same year. And I mean, 4 months, they're still tiny. He's still tiny, and I got a newborn. So it's just been hectic, man. It's been hard to keep up with, podcasting while, you know, I've been preparing for this by like, with the small company I work for, we've been having to work in like overdrive because
Transfer.
for the next month, my boss isn't going to have any help. So uh, he's been kind of panicky about that. So I've just been super busy, and I mean, you're new. I mean, not new job. You've been working there for a minute now, but new projects, and you basically would do like two jobs for your one job. So
Yeah, yeah. Started a new project or a new assignment at the Central Wastewater Plant, and
he works in shit.
yeah, I deal with shit all day, and then come home and deal with baby shit, and it's just a nonstop stream of shit.
It's just shit everywhere. Well,
Uh,
no, we're just we're gonna just goof off and hang out for a little while on this one. I hadn't been on in a while, and I will be honest, I have been so out of fishing for the last 6 months. Like I have not. I fished one time since the weekend before ICAST. Fishing's just not been on my schedule. I've just been super busy with the new career and too much going on. I don't know. Usually I wear a lot of hats, but it's never overwhelming. But I don't know. I guess going back to a real job, it just took a lot
yeah,
out of me because like I just want to go to work, come home, eat, and go
that
to
and
bed, and
prepping for a baby and doing all that stuff
that's
is
been super stressful.
uh,
And we had
everybody handles it differently. But yeah,
and
most of the
mine
time it's
mine was me. Like I think I was just over preparing, which
yeah,
I've already have one kid, so I was completely not prepared the first time. So I was kind of panicky about being that way again. And
yeah. I
now
was
I feel
totally
like we
not
like
prepared.
overdid
Yeah,
it. Well, it's your first one. You shouldn't be.
yeah. Just I should have read some more books or something. I don't know. I just said,
I
I'm gonna
mean,
send it.
it's a different time now, dude. Anything you need to know, you can get on freaking YouTube. It's
Yeah,
insane. Like I remember having my daughter and like, oh no, what do I do because of this? No one has an answer, and now it's like just Google it, and someone's like,
YouTube
oh
you.
yeah,
Yeah, my
YouTube, Google.
old coworker used to do this crap to me, and every time I'd like ask him some kind of question, as far it's like an engineering question, so it's kind of specific. He would send me he would like he'd be across the desk from me, and he'd email me, and I'd be like, "What the heck? Why are you emailing me?" And
It
it'd
sends you a
be a
link to
link.
Google.
Yeah, let me Google it. No, it's a specific link to a website called "Let Me Google That For You," and it takes you to Google. So you have to go through like 2 layers to get to Google.
That's great.
I was like, "You're a dick, dude."
Yeah, so not too much of outdoor industry wise. Anything new for you lately? I know you've been busy. You ain't been on the water any.
Yeah, unfortunately, I hadn't got to get on the water as much as I'd like to. We do got our club stuff coming up. We got our that Del Hollow event, which unfortunately I won't be able to get to either Yeah.
We're not tournament fishermen anymore. We're
Yeah, well, they shifted it back to the second week or the weekend before Christmas, and I've got like 4 divorced families, so they're all like, you know how divorced families are. You got like
oh
Christmas,
yeah,
the whole month of Christmas essentially, because you got
dude.
to go through like
I'm so glad we're
mom
getting a
side, dad
bye
side,
this
mom side,
year.
dad side.
So
Yeah.
so Kristen's family's that way. So there's grandparents on all of them main ones, and everybody tries to have their own Christmas. They don't seem to understand that
Mhm.
like all of the kids now have kids, and it's like everybody's families get bigger, and you're super busy. But we knew we wouldn't make Thanksgiving because my little boy was born on Black Friday,
Yeah.
so we knew we weren't going to make Thanksgiving like arrangements.
You're
But
actively giving birth on Thanksgiving.
basically, but
Yeah.
apparently no one's expecting us for Christmas parties, so we are 100% okay with that. So like we're gonna go to
Nice.
one. Where my mom always comes here, and my mom, and then us and my little girl have our Christmas, and then that's when we normally have to like filter out. Well, we're just gonna do that one, and then we're gonna go to like her mom's, and then
Yeah,
just
that's pretty nice.
skip the rest of it. It'll be great because I didn't want to get him out in all that anyway. RSVs going around like crazy.
Mhm.
I did not feel like dealing with that bullshit.
We're gonna
But
do like one big Christmas, like what you're saying. Just have all the families meet up.
basically, we're just gonna miss all the other ones. Like
Yeah.
what the people that show up for this one, um, is probably like a third of what we normally see, and it's everybody else is just sorry. We'll see you next year, I guess. Like I don't care.
See you when you see it. Yeah.
I know that sounds terrible. It sounds like I don't love my family. It's just I don't. I can't stand our holiday arrangements because it just makes the holidays not fun and just super busy.
Then everybody
And
like guilt trips each other after they miss something.
sometimes it's not
Yeah.
that bad with us. Well, I say it's not that bad for us. I don't care. So if you guilt trip me, I don't even recognize it. I'm just like, well, I mean, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
but I know like it'll stress my wife out. So, but only big change for me is I'm finally can say I'm officially an ambassador for Lakewood products.
Cool.
Um, getting to I've been working with Lakewood like not officially for I did iCast kind of we did iCast with Dubro, but I helped with
Both
them with setup.
booths. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I
You worked a classic with them too, didn't
yep,
you?
I worked the classic with Sarah last year. Met her at iCast in 22 and had a bunch of talks. Met Steve, the owner,
Oh, that is
and
something I did have. I'm gonna be going to the East Tennessee fishing show to represent Trica over there.
oh sweet, that'll be
Yeah.
fun.
So
Make
I'll be
sure y'all go
working
check
that.
them out. I know a lot more
Yeah.
people will want to see the Trika stuff because it's not like readily available to check out.
Yeah. It's I mean it's they sell it only online, so you can't really go in stores and check it out. So
So they're setting they're having some reps come down and set up a booth.
yeah.
Badass, dude.
And they asked me to help out with
When,
that. So
when's that show? Do you know?
yeah, I have it on my
It's
calendar. I think it's the end of January or something.
it's I
No.
know it's early because ours the show we work the Tennessee Fishing and Boat Expo is the first weekend of February, and the East Tennessee show is the weekend before typically.
Fuck, hold on. Let me try to find it.
But
I need to figure that out.
that'll be really cool.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. And before then, I mean, I'm gonna start getting on the water
You hope.
next couple weekends. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get out this weekend for an hour or two with a buddy. It's just there's not none of the places that like I want to go have water in them right now. Like it's been so dry. All of our creeks are just stupid shallow, and it's been fairly windy and cool. And I just don't want to get out on Wheeler right now.
January 25th through 28th, the end of January.
Yeah, so that's the weekend before our other show. Well, heck yeah. So if y'all are going to be in the area, the East Tennessee show is huge. Lots of cool vendors out there. It'll be a fun time.
Yeah.
Um, back to the Lakewood, I will be. I know I'm going to work the Red Crest show, so I can't even remember where Red Crest is, but maybe
Um,
Birmingham. Is it Birmingham this year? Maybe Birmingham next year. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. The Red Crest Expo. I'll be working that with Lakewood. So if you planned on going to Red Crest this coming up year, come check it out. Let me show you some cool stuff that Lakewood's got going on. Then I'm leaving from there, and we're gonna go to the Classic in Oklahoma, and I'm gonna work the Classic again with them.
Oh, it is in Birmingham,
Yeah, I
Lay
thought so.
Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Birmingham for the Red
March
Crest.
13th through 17th.
Yep.
And
And then
2025 is in Huntsville.
yep,
Cool.
I saw a whole bunch of fun stuff coming to my area.
Yeah.
But when we leave there, go to Oklahoma for the Classic, work the Classic Expo. Probably going to take my kayak with me out there to that one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Will you
Check
get to
out.
be like out there the whole week?
She's wanting Sarah, the Sarah that basically
Yeah.
does all of the running and gunning style stuff for Lakewood. She's wanting to leave straight from Red Crest and drive out there so that we can already be in the area and just kind of relax. So if the wife doesn't care, which I don't think we already talked about it, I'm pretty sure she said it was fine. But I'm probably just going to leave straight from Birmingham, come home, grab my boat, hang out for maybe a day, and then bop over to Oklahoma, and then we'll still be like 3 or 4 days early. And I'll probably fish, maybe just hang out, and then come back from that. And then I don't know if I'm going to do ICAST this coming up here. I want to.
Yeah, wait to see how that turns out this year.
Yeah, I'm not. ICAST was fun last year. I definitely had way more fun the year before.
Yeah, it's just a lot harder for me to take a week off now.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and I'm saying that. I know it's gonna be the same thing for me. Which my
Yeah.
plan was if we go this year, I was gonna try and take my wife. And like, I mean, she couldn't. I mean, I could get her a pass and get them a pass, but she's not gonna want to do that. She does not want to be in there for 3 freaking days.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, Orlando, find something to do, you know. But
Oh, there's tons to do.
yeah, but I
He'll
don't.
be like 8 months old or something by that point, so you can go. Just don't let him be alligator food, and you'll be
Exactly.
fine.
Don't swim in the ponds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know about ICAST this year. I didn't. It was fun, a very productive ICAST, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed a little different. I didn't enjoy it as much. As that being said, I mean, I could always make plans to make it fun.
Yeah.
But
Just go around doing fun stuff.
do what you did last year. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to next year for tons of other reasons. I think I'm gonna start looking into the what do they call this? Like the master angler things, the certificates you get for catching like
Oh yeah.
every specific species of a certain size. You know,
You get your classifications or whatever for
yeah.
master anglers.
I'd never looked into that, and I was bored and looking at it the other day, and I would be pretty close already if I had just measured and taken pictures of everything. Like
Same.
I've caught, based off the record, I've caught a rock bass that is almost like state record sized because it's not that big. And I mean, I
Oh,
didn't know.
insane.
So gonna get into that and probably try to get back to like the adventuring side of it. I
Yeah, I'd
noticed the
like to do
last
that
2
as
years
well.
that I'm still hitting places I've never been some, but not like I used to, where it was just like grab the creek boat and like there's
That's what I'm
water on the
missing right
map.
now.
Exactly. Like I used to just
Is
like sit on Google Maps for hours to find water that I hadn't been to. Now I just sit on Google Maps trying to find that edge in a tournament, which it doesn't do anything. Like your edge in the tournament is like making your spot work. It's not necessarily like the fucking Google Map part of it, you know.
yeah. Well, I like when I sold that Lynx, I never really replaced it. So since then, I've basically been limited to the PA, and I mean, I
Which
can
will
take it.
and it does the creeks and the adventuring. It's just a shitload of weight to carry around.
Yeah, it's so much, and it's if it wasn't like fully rigged out like I've got it now, I probably would take it more on some creeks and stuff. But the way that I've got it set up, it's just so heavy that it doesn't make sense to do
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm kind of gotten over pedaling again. Like, and not because I'm spoiled on the motor. It's like if I'm in that big boat, I want to motor it, and if I'm not motoring it, I want to paddle.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. I like having the option of pedaling, but I just catch myself even the PA. Like, the one time I took it out on Wilson a couple of months ago, just to go. Like,
Mhm.
I I used the pedals for maybe 5 minutes, but I was standing up like push paddle or push boarding it, kind of like a paddle board. I was push
Yeah.
poling around and then paddling up creeks and stuff. And I don't know. I was like, why did I bring this boat if I'm just gonna do this? Like, I'm so shallow, the graph's not doing shit.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I kinda miss sometimes, like, grass fishing with that new canoe, was so awesome because it's so easy to just slide over, like, grass mats and stuff with it.
I definitely missed it the time that me, you, and Will went to the little place on Gunnersville. The
Yeah,
first time when I took my unlimited, I had way more
yeah.
fun that time than I do when I'm out there fighting all that grass and that stupid Hobie. Like,
Yeah.
the new canoe, like you said, it just slides over everything, and I'm not
It's got
frustrated,
a
so I
lot
can
of a
focus.
wider base on it, so it, like,
And
kinda
they
sits higher
draft
up
in
in the
like no
water.
water. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So, but well, the PAs are kinda designed more to, like, cut into the water, so their hole goes a little deeper,
yeah,
and it, like, kinda sticks deeper into the grass and digs you in a little bit.
yeah.
I get some dang workouts pushing that thing through the grass, like, I can feel it in my lats and my core.
Dude, the when I went out there last summer by myself before I got rid of that new canoe,
Yeah.
or so I guess it'd be summer of 22. Um, that last like mile stretch to the very back was like a grass field, and
Yeah,
I paddled and push pulled through that, and it took me like 2 freaking hours. And like you, dude, my
yeah.
triceps were burning, my legs were burning because I was like locking my legs into the
Yeah.
boat trying to push.
Dude, one
And I
time
could
I
not
was like
imagine trying to do that with a 140-pound Hobie. Like,
yeah. I was doing it with that Hobie one time, and it was kinda more towards the end of the day, and I hadn't been drinking any water, and I was dehydrated and all that, and I was trying to push myself through a mat like that, and my stomach, like, my core just cramped super hard, and it like, almost fell off the boat. It's just, like,
dude, I know
cramped
those.
me sideways and threw my center of gravity off.
But I'm looking forward to getting back to that. Some of the guys, we've got a few great anglers here in the state. And I'd name them Spencer Miller, Sam Cox, and Luke Turner. That
Yeah.
there was a time that I would have considered myself way more adventurous than those guys were. Like, and it may have not been that that's true. It's just I was kind of doing it before we knew they were doing it, or I even knew these guys. But I was like, the kayak was always in the like, even back when the kayak was on top of the Subaru, man. Like, I didn't even have a truck then. Like, it was either on the Subaru or when I finally got the trailer and was pulling it behind the 4Runner. But
Yeah.
like every day, it was like, man, that creek looks cool. I'm gonna find somewhere to slide down and check it out. And now, like, here, listen to them talk about it. Like Luke, man, I love seeing some of his stories because like he'll just get on Facebook and it'll be like a Saturday at like 1 p.m. and he's like, "Hey, this is my GPS pin. Is anyone in the area that can come pick me up and carry me back to my truck?" Because he's just went so far that he can't get back to his truck.
Oh
And
god.
like that's badass to me. Like, travel and see shit no one else is.
Yeah, but what if you don't get a ride back to your truck?
He gets on the highway and walks. He's done it. I
Mm,
think it was the state tournament. He walked 3 miles back to his truck.
God.
Just left his kayak in the woods. Like,
Needs to get him like a little scooter or something to keep in his kayak. Uh,
how to like
A
break
razor
down
scooter in there.
bicycle or something, like skateboard or something, electric skateboard.
Yeah. That'd be
But
cool.
I don't know. I kind of miss doing that, and that's what I told my buddy Spencer when I messaged him earlier. Was like, I don't want to go to. I don't want to take the Hobie. Which, I mean,
Yeah.
he wants to go to a place that's on fire right now that I could do with the skinny boat, but it's kind of offshore fishing. But
And I've
it's a
kind of
little
got to
lake.
where like it feels like such a chore to just get everything packed up and everything rigged up that like almost turns me off from wanting to even go. So like
Especially for me because I feel the same way, and then I get out there and I don't use half of it.
yeah,
Like
don't
how
use
many
half
times do
of
you
it.
spend the time to set your graph up? You know, even though like that's just bringing the screen and the battery for me, but I worry about it. It's on the checklist, and then I
Yeah.
bring like a cranking rod and an A rig rod and a this rod and a that rod, and then I get out and I throw a Texas rig all day.
Yeah.
Like I literally didn't need anything I brought with me, including this boat. Like I could have
Yeah.
done this in my little Crescent, but that
I think I'm gonna convert and go. I've resisted it for so long, but I think I'm gonna convert and go to team trailer and just leave it like fully rigged. Maybe I mean not the graphs on it and all that stuff, but like leave all the batteries on it, all the boxes on it.
that
Uh,
definitely makes it easier. But for me, something that kills me with being the trailer gang is like limits where I go.
yeah, well, I mean that's why I've been thinking about getting something
Right.
in addition to it, and then leaving that boat as like just throw and go in the back of my truck, and not basically just leaving the PA as like my tournament setup
Yeah.
and fishing tournaments and stuff out of it and lakes and all that.
Yeah. I think I'm speaking of tournaments, because this is a tournament show. I think I'm getting out of the tournament game completely for a while. Um, I don't I don't know why. Like mid year this year, I kind of just stopped feeling it. I just
Yeah.
didn't see it. Just didn't have a good vibe anymore. And I don't mean like locally, just in general. It not good. Okay, saying didn't have a good vibe makes it sound like there's something like malicious going on. That's not it. It's not anybody that did anything or anybody said anything. It just I does not bring me. I mean, I'm a competitive guy. Like I
Yeah.
love to compete at anything. Like we can play pool and bet $1. We can, anything. But I just don't have that drive to try anymore. Like I just want to go out and catch fish, like hang out. Like I miss doing the boondoggles and the camp outs and
Yeah.
uh I mean in NACA, North Alabama Kayak Runners, they still do all that stuff. It's just I don't know, maybe it's just because I've been in it for a few years now. It just has lost its kind of luster to me. Like I'd rather call these guys that I go see at these tournaments and just go fishing with them versus just seeing them at tournaments. You
Yeah.
know,
I get
uh,
that. I think I want to limit myself next year to just fishing like a handful of events and not get so. I do feel like sometimes I get a burnout on it if I fish like 50 events in a year. I think last year was like 30, and then the year before that was like 40.
I fished 4 this year. That's how quick. Like year before, I fished our club tournaments, other club tournaments. I think I fished 2 TVKAs, like 5 national events. Like
Yeah.
just dipped in a little bit of everything. And this year, I did just enough, and it wasn't because I was trying to stay in the Angler of the Year race because I didn't do that good at all. I mean, I think I got like 25th. But our club was sponsored by Old Town this year, and they gave us a giveaway boat, and they set it up
Wow.
where anybody that fished 4 events and one monthly big bass tournament got put in the raffle drawing for it. So that's the only reason I fished as many as I did, was so that my name was in that, just in case, you know. And not that I wanted that boat, but be a
Just, I mean,
nice quick
yeah.
sell for a couple grand.
Even it's still a good boat. So I mean, who
Yeah,
knows? Maybe you would have.
I'd probably never put it in the water, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've been in a 120 PDL. It's they're great, fast. I don't want it. Just don't. It's not my style. But yeah, I don't know. So taking a new direction next year. I'm hoping that I'll still get to get on the water a decent amount, and which I mean, we're pretty relaxed on the baby front. Like my wife's a champ. She's got it, so she doesn't mind. Like she's been telling me to get out of the house even just this week. Like, go take a break, go do something. So I'm
Yeah.
sure I'll get that. Maybe I'll get back to focusing on like I'm probably spoiler alert. I'm probably going to let some of my sponsors go. Um, I don't
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you can't
if they're not
find the
doing nothing
time,
for which now like lately, obviously this year I haven't been able to do a lot for them.
yeah, I was gonna say if you can't find the time to commit to them, and you guys are just not mutually beneficial anymore, then
Yeah, there's no point of it. Make room for someone else. And
yeah,
like companies are great. It's just I'm if I don't have a drive to promote the product, then I shouldn't be there. And like
Yeah.
I promote the living shit out of Lakewood. I've sold tons of Lakewood product physically in their booth. Like I really believe in that stuff. So that's why I was, because there was a part of me that was like, I don't even know if I want to apply for this. Because like Sarah got mad that I didn't apply last year. Also, because I didn't even know you had to. Like I didn't know anything about their ambassador program. I was just hanging out with her, helping them sell stuff. I didn't care. But she sent me the email this year, and I was like, well, I don't know. Like I could still work with her and help them out. They don't care, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I want an ambassador commitment. But then I like looked at all their guidelines and everything. And it's like it's stuff that I already do. And I was like, okay, so I just have to commit a little more to, making sure I'm sharing and stuff like that. But it's not a big ask, so I'll do it. But some of the other sponsors, I don't know. I'm probably gonna back down. Um, I don't have that
Happens.
push. I don't have that push to make it in this industry anymore.
Yeah.
I've learned that I do not want to be a part of this industry on a full professional, full time scale. The
A lot
industry,
of work, and it's
well, it's a
it's
lot of work, and the industry's too cutthroat. Like, and that can
yeah, I
be
can
said
see
about
that.
any industry you get into. But I'm seeing how, and a lot of what's changed my mind is my new career is cake, man, and it doesn't have any signs of slowing down. I make good money. I'm about to be making a good bit more money, and I get to be close to home. There's no stress for me, knowing, no work anxiety, nothing.
Yeah.
So, like, where when I was doing electrical work, it's like fishing was my escape. I don't even need an escape now. Like, my boss is one of my best friends, and we butt heads, but it's never stressful. Like it's like whatever, dude. F off. Go back in your office and just go away. And
Yeah.
that's what happens. And we get stuff done and make money. And since the all of that stress is relieved, it's like I don't want to, like, I now do not want to be part of the fishing industry on that high end level. Like I am not looking to collect a paycheck in this industry, and I will not be ever again. Like maybe if it'd be nice to collect a paycheck one day with podcasting because I still
Yeah.
enjoy it. I haven't had time
I'd
for it.
still like to win a tournament or two at some point. Some
I
big
know
ones.
that.
I want to win some big ones.
See, and I've lost that. Like
Yeah.
I used to want to like walk across the stage or beat Christine and Russ and these guys in tournament, and I don't care.
Yeah.
Like doesn't mean anything to me anymore. Like I can beat you one day and you can beat me the next. That's all it means. Like like there's always one place I can set my foot to say, well, maybe today was just my day. It would take me being fully committed to be able to say like I'm better than these guys. You'd have to be like
I don't know
consistently
if I
beating
ever
them.
want to say that I'm better than them, but
Exactly. Like
uh, I don't think I ever will be better than some of them. They're
no,
freaking
and
insane, and that's
they,
part of the realization I've had too. Is like I don't think I'll ever be on that level, but I just want to mess around and
and
get lucky one
it's
day.
not that either one of us aren't good fishermen. We don't have that time. Like
Yeah,
that is their life and their career.
and
Like
it's crazy they made a career out of it. It's cool
yeah,
to see.
and
Uh,
a lot of it is playing the cards you get, man. Some people had already had their lives set up in the right direction. I don't mean like they had money handouts. That's not what that means. But
no, I mean
like somebody
not
like
as
Russ, like knew which direction he wanted to go, so he made steps and moves to do that.
to keep
Where
himself
me, it's
like
like,
not tied down. Well, not necessarily tied down, but like just so that you don't have a lot of responsibilities.
well,
Because
yeah, you don't
like
have
they
like I
kind
mean,
of
tied down's a good word. Like it's hard to do if you have a kid. Like
yeah, or
if you're
you have
married and you're doing it and then you have a kid, it's one thing. But if your family and your life situation is set up and then you just decide to try to do it, I mean, some people can. Some people have their finances in a good place and they're that good. And it's just not, it's like a 1% thing. And I'm not that 1%. I made that realization a long time ago. It's like the first year I ran around the national trail and like seeing people that had been there for a week, because this was before the off limits periods, like people spending 1, 2, 3 weeks at a tournament lake before we get there. Seeing the people that can just show up like Adam Reiser and like just hammer down like good everywhere. Like some guys just got it. And it's because that dude's fished forever. Like,
yeah, I can see that. Uh, and I think that they've figured out a way to get the cards to fall in the right direction for them.
mm,
Like I'm not. I mean, and consistently. I mean, they'll have their bad days still, but it's way way more often than not that they like are consistently finishing
You
well
know,
and
yeah.
doing well. Like I would feel like I have so many times that I've gotten so close, and just one pillar didn't fall in the right direction, and it screwed the whole thing.
And I feel that too. And like I feel, when I'm saying one thing right here, then I go back and look at it the other way. Like I've had a lot of close ones. Been one fish shy, made one wrong decision. Like, well, that's
Hmm.
where if I was committed, I would take that as like a constructive criticism and be like, okay, don't make that mistake again. Make that correction. Keep this in your mind. Maybe prepare a little different. And I've just turned that switch off. Like now I just show up and whatever happens, happens. And I
Yeah,
did that for like, I will say, like last year when I first did that, that was the best fishing year I had as far as tournament finishes. And it
yeah.
didn't win any, but I got like a second and a third. And
I feel like that's a lot easier to do on a single day event, but on the
oh, yeah,
multi
you can't
days
do
thing,
that on no
yeah, you have to have your like everything
preparation.
dialed. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to have your plan figured out. You can make adjustments for sure, and stuff like have to make changes and all that, and abandon a plan. But if you know what to do in those scenarios, then you're going to put
You're right.
yourself in a lot better situation. Uh,
Yeah.
and just have those instincts, what they always talk about.
I'm kind of like bummed that I kind of just fell off of it this year. Was having a fantastic fishing year, not tournament wise, because again, I was already not doing a lot of tournaments,
Yeah.
but just fishing in general, man. I caught it was like the first 3 trips of the year, and I started earlier than I normally do because I don't fish much in the winter anymore. Like the first 3 trips of the year, I caught like two fives and a four, and it all in places that you don't normally catch good fish. Like
Hmm.
I was taking the couple trips. I was taking a couple of guys out that like just got into kayak fishing. I wanted to take them somewhere not intimidating, like just some water. Did really good that day. You know, leading on from there, I just like consistently was like, I'm the guy. I'll usually catch a few 20s a year, but I'm not like you see some of these guys where it's like if they get on the water, they catch a 20. You know what I mean?
Every time. Yeah.
You're right. And this year, like the first 4 or 5 months of the year, I was that guy. Like I'd catch one at minimum. I was going to catch me like one, decent to good fish at least before I started running through the 15s and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I was even consistently like I was keeping up with it for a while. Like I wasn't catching dinks. Like I wasn't catching the 10s, 11s, 12 stuff because like our club tournaments allow like anything that measures.
Hmm.
And I,
Anything that measures
yeah,
8 inches.
hey dude, it is hilarious when some of these tournaments get on these rough lakes. Like they hit Weiss Lake at a really bad time this year, and like there were so many sub 10-inch fish submitted. Like
Oh God.
it's hilarious. But like I was consistently catching like the 14, 16s. I caught tons of 17s, 18s this year, and was like, okay. I was like, dude, I'm finally putting it all together. Fifth year into this, and I am finding fish now. I'm able to do what I need to do, and
Hmm.
maybe still not relating it during the tournaments, but like I can go out and come home and not be like, fuck, that sucked. Like, like I can say this because I stopped fishing when I did. I have not had a skunk trip this year. Um, I was very close that trip though. I took that trip to Wilson that I took like 2 months ago. Like
Yeah.
it was like the last 10 minutes I caught like a 14, and I was like, thank God.
Thank God.
But that like I was it was still hot, and it looked like the lake had turned over where I was because we had
Yeah.
no rain and it was just mudded out real bad, and there was just nothing. And I caught one off a little island and was like, okay, good enough. Uh,
I'll
Still know
take
how to
it.
do this. I'm out. But I don't know, and maybe like going into this off season, it never fails. We get that itch. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
you
it's been a
fish
long.
consistently through the year, so you don't really ever have that problem. But like, I
Yeah.
take
I mean,
time
I
off.
quit the last month or two. It seems about 2 months. I got to fish a little when I went to go visit my friends in California in October. So, but since then, it's been all baby stuff and work. So, uh, So
It's just
as
a
he gets older and
oh
work,
yeah,
I'm supposed to start a new assignment in like May, which is in office and not on in the field and stuff. Right now, I'm doing like all construction stuff, so it's like I have to be there
holding
crazy
hands.
hours,
Yeah,
and yeah, and doing stuff outside of work. But once that all lines back up, I mean, I'm gonna go right back into it. And
yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna go. I'm probably not gonna ever really get as hardcore as I was like a couple years ago. Like going to everything I could, pretty much. Uh, but I probably will pick like what I'm thinking I'd like to do is like make a little schedule for myself and pick 4 or 5, and just focus my time and effort onto those and try to do as best I can in those. And
yeah.
maybe just pick like one trail and just do that whole trail.
I'll I'll probably still so like to show you like how out of it was. We talked about this before. I knew that Bass had announced a schedule because we announced it on here. I know that TVK. I knew Tennessee Bass Nation schedule because we announced it on here.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody else had dropped their schedules. That's how like out of the loop I am. And then I have not realized until today that all of the local clubs have dropped their trails for next year.
Yeah.
Oh well, like, I don't. I'm sure I'll still hit some because uh, what's fun about the NACA tournaments is a lot of them. There's like skinny water, so you can do like float trips.
Hmm.
Like fish with a buddy and make a float out of it. And I love hanging out with my buddy Dan and doing that. So I'm sure I'll end up at one. I mean, we
Yeah.
always
You're
do a
gonna fish a
cypress foot.
couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think like when we talked when we had Steve and them on there, I was talking about probably running the Tennessee Bass Nation schedule because I was already gonna be like they're coming in my backyard on both sides, and then the paddle and fin thing on Del Hollow and all that stuff. Like I changed my mind. I don't think I'm gonna do any of it. Like I'll be at Del Hollow, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
fish the tournament again.
I'll try to
Like
convince you to hit up a couple with me.
I mean, and that could do it. Like have doing it with someone, but I'm not gonna have that single like
Yeah, I think
competitive
doing
drive to go
something
for it.
through like where it's fun, like we did at Gunnersville. Like I had a
When we
terrible
when we
event.
almost died. Like
Yeah. Uh,
yeah, that was and that see that's the ones that stick out to me is like had so much fun. The fishing was terrible.
yeah,
Like because the river was terrible, but like we still had a great time.
yeah.
Like
It was fun.
that's the ones that I count like think about. And then like me and my buddy Spencer, like the last trip I took, the real fishing trip I took, we went and did some creek stuff, and we got caught in a tornado warning, or no, severe thunderstorm warning. Um, Walking a creek, nowhere near our truck, and lightning starts just going nuts. So we just like squat down in the creek and get as low to the ground as we can to just be way smaller than the trees. And I've got it on video, and it is hilarious. We're just sitting there getting rained on. We're still like half a mile from a bridge, like nowhere to run, and we're just sitting in the creek, just as like I'm like down like this above the kayak, just super low. And I was like, "What are we doing, Spencer?" And he's like, "We're trying not to die." And I was like, "That's the stuff that's fun," and I remember. And
Uh,
I don't know. I'm gonna try to get back to that and just see
but
how.
I'm still pretty excited about the schedules that are out for next season. I'd like to get AJ on and do a show with him about the Hobie one. We never really got with him on that, but we could probably do that at the beginning of the season for next year, like we did this
Yeah,
past season.
try and catch him before he gets busy.
Yeah, because they got some pretty good ones on their schedule. So does the Bassmaster one. KBF, I think's got a couple good ones too on their schedule.
We never did the show on it because Paddle and Finn streamed it, but Drew's new series, Drew and
Yeah,
Alex and all them, their series is starting up. Um,
that'll be
I don't
cool.
even remember the name of it. That's so sad. Like
That's the one. Fuck, I don't remember it either.
it's like the River Adventure series or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember the full name. I'm gonna look it up.
But I will say this: if I was to go to any, that would be them
The
because
native
that'd be.
ones are pretty fun too. I'll
I
say
I
that
haven't
too.
I haven't got to fish one of those of that style. I want to.
Yeah, I
Like the
think,
big bass power hour style one.
yeah, where you can
I would love to do one of those because there's like no stress because like anybody can catch something good at the right
yeah,
time, you know?
you catch I mean, I think I had 2 shots at $1,000 a piece and missed them both. Um,
I have way more confidence in that on a
and
lake like Gunnersville than I would like a normal like 8 hour tournament
yeah,
because like I've stumbled into some stupid good fish on G, but
I think I don't know if they got their schedule out for next year.
who? Oh, native?
Yeah, let me
I don't
check.
think so.
They may have put it out since oh, somebody posted on the 30th. Just checking in on timeline for 2024 tournament schedule. We will announce as soon as we can.
AKA we don't have one yet.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah,
well
but that's gonna be cool. See how that turns out too.
oh yeah.
I'm glad to see that one keep growing.
Yeah, there's tons of options, man. It's a good time to be in tournament kayak fishing if that's your thing
Tons of
because
trails out
you
there.
have got options. Hopefully
Yeah.
you got a lot of money and a lot of time because you're gonna need it.
Well,
But
and I think as long as you don't overwhelm yourself either, like don't try to fish everything if it's going to be stressful on your life and your careers or anything.
man, I would say approach it two ways. You either like full commit to a trail that you think
Yeah,
that you're confident in, even if the schedule doesn't line up with like where you want to go. But like if it's got three lakes that you know you're good at, you know, you just set yourself up mentally. Be like, okay, like I know I can be in the AOI running after these three, but I got to really do some homework on this one and
yeah,
really perform. You can approach it that way, or you can do it like I used to do it and just destination fish.
yeah.
Like
That's what I was going to say.
I would go to
There's
a place I'd always wanted to go and pay the $200 entry fee because you can fuck around and win some money. You never know your day. You never know when
yeah.
your day is coming. You know, and
I think the
I
native one
enjoyed
would
it.
be a good one to do that with.
I would say just because of the feedback I've got from guys that have fished it that all seem to enjoy it. Like
Yeah,
if a native is in your area or if it's at a destination lake and you only got one weekend, like a vacation that you can take to go fishing, go do that. Like
yeah,
it's gonna be a good time. Like I'd also say take your other weekend if you haven't, come hang out with us on Del Hollow and for Paddle and Fin. It is
for
always a good
sure.
time. We are
See if somebody's
goofballs.
going to break that 200-inch mark this year.
Yeah, it's
What did
it's
Robert have, like 199 or something like that?
198, I think. He was
Yeah,
close,
198.
but
So
yeah, it's looking forward to next year just to see what happens, to see if everything I'm saying right now just goes away and then I just catch a bug and want to do it again. But I can tell you right now, it's not looking good. I've done to let myself
struggling.
get back into other hobbies and stuff too, which doesn't help. It's like,
Yeah, I needed to find something to pass the time while I'm sitting at home taking care of the kids. So I started collecting Magic the Gathering cards and playing Magic with my little brother.
way different than what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I got back into lifting weights and like doing
I'm doing that a little too.
a bulk
Uh,
season right now where I'm basically eating whatever I can and want
yeah.
and just trying to lift as heavy weights as possible until like um, what me and my wife talked about is we're gonna get through Christmas and then she's gonna get back on the diet plan that we were both doing at the beginning of last year when I lost all my weight and then I'm on trim back down, see
Yeah, I need to
see
do that
what I
as
look
well.
like. But and then I shoot building and shooting guns. Like I got really into collecting kit and uh, building a couple new rifles, and that's a lot of money because
Very
I
nice. Yeah.
I wanted something that was I've had tons of like off the shelf ARs and stuff like that, but I wanted to build something that was just top notch, and I did, and it was a lot of money, but it is fun. And then I bought a lot of kit, like like a lot of kit, trying to figure out like what plate carrier setup I liked for training and all sorts of stuff. Because I mean, there's no
Getting
point just
after it.
owning a gun if you don't know how to use it. So it's like train with your shit.
Sure.
And
Yeah, why not?
oh, it's good cardio. Like If you've never put on a 20-pound plate carrier and tried to run down the fucking field, you should try it. It sucks. Like,
I feel like my knees would explode trying to do that.
it's rough. Like, you have to keep in your mind that like dead sprint doesn't need to be dead sprint. It needs to
Yeah.
be calculated sprint. Like,
Ah,
at least while
like,
you're still fat, like I am, like still carrying the extra weight. But
yeah.
that was part of what drove me back to lifting weights and doing some cardio. It was like, okay, I'm dying. Like I can make this easier on myself very easily. So
I didn't realize how much I walk around the other day. I walk around like a shitload at the job site because it's like the whole site's like mile and a half long. Um, so and I have four different things checking on four different sides of it. So it's like I do this 1 mile lap every 2 or 3 times a day.
I used to walk a lot. Now my job is me standing flat footed on concrete in front of a workbench for 8 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's always good for you.
Sucks. I mean, I've got ridiculous hand and forearm strength right now because it's all my work's in my hands, but not moving much anymore. But and I think a lot of the reason I got back into those hobbies was just taking a break from fishing. I think, well, and I broke my wrist. Like
Yeah,
I
you were
literally
pretty immobile for
not
a
fish
while.
because I'm not one of those guys that's willing to like completely learn how to do everything with the other hand for two
I
months.
feel like once you start fishing again, it'll catch back up pretty quick.
And I think another thing is like that when I went out that time a couple months ago, my wrist was still tender. Like
Mm,
that was kind of a trip for me to see if I could go fishing and
yeah.
could move my boat around, could paddle, and it was rough. So I was kind of like, all right, maybe I don't need to do this for a little while. But
Yeah, maybe give it a break for a second.
yeah, but I don't know. I like it, and I could go out this weekend and completely get hooked again. So who
I think
knows?
it'll happen.
But yeah, well, enough about all this like decision making bullshit, man. Like, what's it? Recap of the year. What's it been like doing podcasts? You haven't been doing it a full year yet, but
Pretty
I,
close. I think
yeah,
I
I think.
started in January or February.
Oh, okay. I thought you started in like April.
I thought it was earlier than
Where?
that because we covered all the Florida stuff in February.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. And you were a host when we went to paddle or went to Del Hollow,
Yep.
and that's April. Okay,
Yeah.
so that was my mistake. So yeah, you're basically at a year, dude. So what's it been like, man?
It's been pretty cool. Uh, I've been really enjoyed talking to all these people, like from all over the country, and getting to catch up with people that I've met before, fished against before, and then really kind of getting to see pick their brain a little bit. That's the part I like is kind of nitpicking stuff that they did throughout the day. That now I always go back and kick myself like, why the hell didn't I do something like that?
Yeah, but man, I used to like we always used to say at me and Dan Perry, like, we don't do this show for y'all. We do it for us
Yeah,
because I'm getting to I mean, we make it entertaining as best we can so that other people can do the same thing, but we're getting to hear details and tricks and secrets from the best people doing it right now. And um especially because it's relatable to us because kayak fishing. Obviously, we could be talking to Jacob Wheeler or Dustin Connell and all these big pros to really pick their brains, but like the people doing good at it are doing what we're doing specifically in a kayak. So
yeah,
you get so much information. Like, and I 100% believe that it's. I mean, obviously, like time on the water is a big thing, but uh, there's so much information that I really do retain from talking to these people that I have turned and used in my, whether it's a bait or
just
like a
a
cue on the water, like
yeah, like a key
this is
decision that you're
happening,
like,
do this.
I
Like,
remember somebody saying something. They did something like this one time. Let me go try it. And
dude, Nick Audi, the thing he
yeah.
told us with the Ned rig, the little trick he did with that. I hate Ned rigs. Refuse to throw them like
Oh
90%
yeah,
of
I
the
mean,
year,
both it worked for both of us. So we were trying to ledge fish out in Pickwick, and we're like, let's just try it, and
and it
then
works.
it
And you're like,
worked.
bro, it is, and it was easy. Like,
Yeah,
and like everybody will say, like, oh, Ned rig's easy, but like you don't understand. Like ledge fishing, like
yeah. I suck at ledge
we're
fishing.
throwing all
That's like
these
one of the
other
most intimidating things to
typical
me.
lead or ledge baits, and then we both are like, dude, you got this? You got these in your boat? Yeah, okay, dude. Nick was talking about this is the way he was smoking them. Let's try it. And like,
Yeah.
we killed him that day. Like nothing big, but we went from nothing to catching fish. And I messaged him and was like, dude, that trick is
Yeah,
that's
I
money.
mean, you did catch a good smallmouth doing that. It was like an 18 or 19-inch smallmouth that you lost
Yeah, dude, I forgot about that.
because we scanned over them and saw them all. And
Right there at
it
the
was,
little pinch point.
yeah, it was like 20, 30 foot of water.
That was awesome. I forgot all about that. Same
And we
thing with,
were
you
sitting
know,
there trying to live scope and get swamped by wake boats.
that was rough. Like
Yeah,
four
that
foot
was so
freaking rollers
annoying.
and 7 million wake boats. That
Yeah,
was stupid for us to be out there.
that was like
But
the worst day on the water as far as boat traffic because that morning was that hummingbird event and the owners event, and there was literally like 50 bass boats camped out on the ledge overnight.
yeah, because they could launch like whenever they wanted.
Yeah, they literally were out there in the middle of the night at like 3 a.m. because I got there, yeah, an hour and a half before sunrise.
Yeah, to beat
And
the
I was like,
boats when the
to
boats
beat
were
the
already
boats,
there.
they were already sitting out there. I was like, where are all those little lights out there? And then as I got closer, I was like, those are freaking boats everywhere. And I'm serious, like the whole horizon was just like little dots everywhere.
I'm telling you, that's the most boats I've seen on the water in a day, period. And
Yeah.
I fished on Labor Day weekend one time, and it was nothing compared to that weekend that you're talking about.
And it wasn't like a special weekend or anything. It
No,
was
it was
just like
just
a
a
normal,
warm summer day.
yeah.
But no, like and other information, man, like having Ewing Miner talking about like the big baits and
Oh yeah.
him, you, and Matt Souders, like taking all the information from y'all because you throw big baits. Matt Souders has a giant big bait collection,
Hmm.
loves throwing them. It gave
I
me the
did get a couple
confidence that
new big baits in, and I got a couple more that I'm looking to get from Bass Brains.
oh
Um,
nice,
yeah, they got some new stuff coming out that looks pretty sweet. So I'm pretty excited to see what Mark
bro.
over there at Bass Brains coming
Dude,
out
I have
with.
not bought tackle in so long. It's been so nice. Like the last thing but it's funny because the last thing I bought was big baits. I bought
Hmm.
4 of the Bass Pro Shop Glide.
Basically the last thing I bought was that Lakewood box for uh big baits and a couple of glide baits, I guess. The I got some of the bait sanity ones to try out I think it's called the Chimera or something like that. Uh it's kind of close, it's kind of similar to a Chad, but a bait sanity version with swivel hooks on the bottom and all that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm
I
excited for
lost a good, taking information from you guys. It was the end of the last tournament I was fishing on Pickwick. I did a solo creek float down to where one of my buddies was putting in and fishing, and like kind of he was like floating down and walking back, walking up, floating down, just kind of in a general area. And I was like, well, I'll just float down and meet you. And I found it was middle of summer, found a smallmouth garden a bed, and
that. In the middle
had
of
been seeing
summer?
it. Yeah, and I wasn't the only one because I thought it was weird because I had seen 2 doing it and didn't think that's what they were doing. But the last one that was really good fish, like clear as day, clear water right at the takeout, watching her swim around and guard a nesting area. No
Wow.
male, but attacking all the brim coming around, like going crazy. And I started throwing a like 9-inch glide bait and just trying to get her to react to it. And finally got her to hook up to it. I didn't have a net. And I was like,
Oh, no.
she's freaking out. And my buddy Dan was like, what are you going to do? And I was like, well, we're going to pray. Like, and she finally, like, she came
Hope for
up
the
one
best.
time and, like, just chucked the bait, ripped the tail off of it. Like,
Mm,
but
brutal.
I'm hooked on it now. It's so much fun especially when you can see it. Like,
Yeah. Glide bait fishing is pretty fun once you
yeah,
get the hang of it.
like I'm not, I don't have that. I still don't have that urge to go out and buy all these fancy. Like I'm not allowing myself to get
And you don't need
stuck
to.
into the swim bait game. Like the
No.
bait that I'm doing the best with, Matt Souders gave me. Now it is a custom painted bait, so it is worth a little money. But it's like a $12 blank. It's
Yeah.
nothing fancy.
Then
and it
and like the Bass
does
Pro
so good.
ones that are like $20.
They're fantastic.
Yeah,
That's the
those
one I
are.
bought like 4 of. I bought like 2 of one color and a couple other colors, and
I mean, and
they're
like this
fantastic.
Bait Sanity one that I got is still on the higher end, but it's like $80.
Which is
The
still
Bass
cheap for a
Brain
swim
ones
bait.
that I like those a lot because those are all like hand painted baits too. They're on the higher end a little bit in the mid range, but I feel like it's an art piece almost. So, but they're like in the $150 range, 140 or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's a little higher end, and I think anything over 100 is like you're
Cheap.
starting to get into like the swim bait guys
I touched a
territory.
$900 swim bait one time, and I was like, "What in the hell are people doing?"
Yeah,
And then what he
like
told me
a
they used it for, and I was like, "What?" Because it's a stripe bait. And I
like
was
a
like, "You
Roman
don't."
maid or something like that.
I couldn't remember what it's called, but it was a skipjack,
Mm,
and it was about that long, probably 12, 14 inch,
yeah,
and it was that is way bigger than 12 to
and
14
then
inches, by the
the
way.
Hinkle shads, like people are selling those for like $900.
The thing was it was in a like flat briefcase that was red velvet lined,
Yeah, I think
and
that
he
is the Roman maids.
he opened it up and handed it to me, and I was like, "Well, this is cool. How much are these?" And he was like, $900, and I was like, "Take it back."
Yeah,
I was like, "What are you throwing
be
them for?" And
touching
he was
that.
like, "Giant striper at the dam." I was like, "I'm not throwing a $900 bait at a fish that I can catch with other things."
Yeah,
Like,
a spoon,
yeah,
a giant spoon.
cut bait. That's how we used to catch big ones.
Yeah,
Like, you don't need that. Like, but
no, you don't. But it's fun. It's cool,
I mean, yeah,
especially
you
to
got the
watch
money
them
to
like
spend, dude.
follow
Do
it.
whatever you want. Like, to each their own. Like, if you want to go out there and throw fucking saltwater baits at it, giant fucking plugs like this, I don't care. Go do it. Well, what else have you taken away from being a part of the podcast? Like, been a different year for sure, but
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I think it's just mostly like we've been talking about, kind of reevaluating my fishing goals and what I want to get out of fishing, I guess.
yeah.
So I think doing this show kind of makes me realize that I like to fish more for fun than I do like fishing tournaments, I guess, like hardcore in the tournaments.
I mean,
But I
it
really
definitely
like
gives you that
talking about
realization.
tournaments. I don't know. I like talking to people about them and figuring out how they're.
I definitely still like that, and that's something I hope that I can keep my interest in is getting to have these conversations with like the best, coolest people in the industry here.
Yeah,
And but it gives you the realization that, like we already said, like I can't keep up with them, like not even close. And
some dang hammers, man.
absolutely, but it's been a fun year for the most part. I hate that I've basically been absent so much lately. It's just I've got so much going on.
Yeah, I
I
feel like I
haven't.
still had some pretty memorable moments this year. Like I caught my biggest smallmouth ever this year. Actually, I caught my biggest largemouth ever this year too. Longest at least. Had my biggest single day limit this year. Um, but I just struggled so much in the tournament side. But those were all fun fishing doing that. And,
Let you realize something though. But like,
yeah,
oh, there's probably something to that. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I didn't have
uh,
any fun trips. Yes, like memories, like the lightning trip, the video I got of you walking through the flooded parking lot on Gunnersville looking for the bedfish. That was funny. Um, but this year wasn't a year like I said. I had a good beginning of the year, but it wasn't. I don't think I caught any PBs. I can't remember.
I also
Um,
started doing like TikTok more and stuff this year, and I had a pretty couple some videos that had some pretty good amount of likes and stuff on them. That I want to try to get back to doing some more this year because I just like recording stuff and video editing and doing all that stuff on it. I don't really want to get into the whole YouTube game because I don't have the time to edit a 20-minute video and all that. But
I just still
those little
love
30-second
photography.
videos and 1-minute videos, I think they're fun and I like doing them.
I still just I've noticed if I take videos, they're for me. It's like something for me to look back on.
Yeah.
Um, the clips, that's okay. Um, but for me, it's like I like the pictures. I don't know why. I love just trying to get that angle of something that just looks photogenic,
Yeah.
like everybody jokes around about the sunset photos. Like, oh, it means the fishing was terrible. I take sunrise and sunset photos every day, like that I'm on the
Just
water. It doesn't
yeah.
matter.
It doesn't
I
even
just
have to
love
be on
it.
the water, just take a picture.
And I don't know. I love landscape pictures. Some of my favorite pictures are from a place down here off of Decatur that the lily fields get those really pretty lily blooms,
Mhm.
and I'll just go like paddle out in the middle of them and just like get a really sick foot pictures of them, like the little water drops sitting on them, like that shit still. And like I
I
would
like
like to
trying to get,
transition that to
little
photography for
clips
product.
or I like trying to get clips and videos of stuff that's, like, crazy stuff that happens on the water, like, just random
I,
events
I don't ever
that
have that stuff happen.
I do all the time, man. It's, like, stuff that people wouldn't believe it until I showed them a video, and they're like, "What the hell?"
Dude, like my videos would be like success and absolute failure. That's all it would be. There would be
I
like
think
the
that
successful
translates into my
fish
tournament
catch.
fishing is just, like, something crazy always happens to me that screws me,
Yeah, yeah.
and
But I don't know. I'm hoping to like work with Lakewood closely. I'm sitting on a lot of content that I took because I knew the ambassador thing would end up working out at some point this
so
year.
you just been stockpiling
I do, man.
stuff for a year.
I've got a bunch of stuff saved up to use for that, like clips, product
Yeah,
highlights,
cool.
um, and I'm probably just gonna save it for next year.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try to work closer with them and maybe develop a few more kayak specific products with them as far as gear storage goes. Kind of mentioned it with them last year, and they seemed kind of intrigued. And I really like Steve, the owner, and he's the kind of owner I like, where it's like he's willing to listen and like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?
Yeah, he seemed
And
pretty cool when I
dude,
met
he's
him.
so chill, and really really like them. So I want to work with people like that too. And again, it's like I'm not looking for a paycheck. I'm not looking for any kind of incentive. Like I couldn't tell you what my like perk package is with them. I don't know. I don't care. Like
Just
whatever.
for fun.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Send me a T-shirt. I'm good. Like, but probably do that. I'd like to work with a couple other the companies that I'm still affiliated with a little closer. I'm hoping that even though we're in a big inflation, I really hope that what we got going Music City Outdoors. I want to keep pushing forward with that because we've had those guys are really doing good. I've got to contribute to some of the success and good a little bit,
Mhm.
like getting a good team together and like having people in the area help spread the word, show the shop that the kayak angling is serious, kayak fishing, kayaking, like you know carry these boats, work with these people. Like it's been fun, and I want to continue to do that because like the Greg and uh, the guys at the shop, dude, like they're awesome. It's like family. I love hanging out up there. I love just being so chill.
Yeah, I need to
So
go stop by there again soon.
I haven't been in so long. Um, since I broke my wrist, like I went up there
Yeah.
while they were out of town, or I think Greg was out of town. Somebody was out of town, and I haven't had time to go back. Like all of our new merch is in, all of our new shirts and hats, and I just have. Is that our new hat or no? That's not our new hat.
No, it's a tailgate hat. I got it at the airport.
Gotcha. But
Uh, yeah, I'd like to go in and just hang out and check out. I mean, I think they got some of the new Titan X's in.
yeah, I
They
want to
got
go check it
some
out.
of the new boats for next year in.
I want to see what a 172-pound kayak looks like.
Yeah. Is it really that much?
Oh yeah, I went back after we talked this morning or this afternoon. I went back and looked at it. It's fully
Hold
rigged
on, I'm gonna look it up.
172.
I need to see it with my own eyes.
But yeah, we got that. Got some killer deals on kayaks there too. So if you're in the Tennessee area or anywhere around it, hit us up if you're looking for a good deal on basically any kayak brand you're looking for. We got it. Except
Oh, what's
Jackson.
that? Oh, fully rigged is 172 pounds. That's
Yep.
with the drive and the seat in it.
Yep,
Okay.
that's real. That's heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty stout. Oh, they got a 10.5 version of it. I didn't even realize they came with that.
Hmm. But yeah, it's been a fun year. Appreciate everybody that if you're still here, we appreciate. I know that Pal and Finn has slowed down. We've had a lot of changes, but everybody's got something going on, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm not
People.
I'm not airing out everybody's stuff because it's not my place to do it, and it's not. I'm not saying it's like there's anything bad going on. It's just like there's been some life events happen for some people, kids and sick people, and
Yeah, all over the
it's
place.
just a lot. And Brad and Matt moved on.
I think I went to 3 funerals this year.
That's terrible. Like,
Yeah, and then a
but
kid, and
it's just Pal and Finn's not gone, man. We just had to slow up a little bit. It's not. I don't think it means anything. I mean, maybe we're not in that carrying that momentum like we were to keep pushing the podcast to something just grander. But I think we all kind of realize that none of us, I don't think, actually want that anymore. Like, we just enjoy talking fishing, talking to all you great people, and just hanging out. And like,
yeah.
that's what
Uh,
keeps me doing it. Not, I don't care about trying to make us the best podcast in the world anymore. Like, maybe us just enjoying the people will make it happen naturally. Like,
I liked it, and I like that part of it. Just enjoying.
just enjoy talking about fishing,
Yeah.
you know? Well, yeah. So that's what's been up with us, and that's
Damn, I
what's
might
going
sell my
on.
Hobie and get one of these Titan X's.
I
Like,
figured you'd do that anyway.
convert.
If you do it, talk to Trey and just see if y'all can go in and get like 2 of them.
Yeah,
Do like a
sure.
combo deal, because I know Trey's probably. I know Trey, you'll listen to this. Just listen to me closely, Trey. Go buy the Titan.
Just do it.
He texts me and he's like, "Gonna go look at the Titan this weekend. I'm not buying though." I'm like, "Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. Is this the
Bullshit."
guy that's bought 40 kayaks?
We're probably closing on 50 now.
Yeah.
We need to go catch up with him because he's got the innovative sportsman one, the thing that Jeff Little did with the inflatable, the real long
Mhm.
inflatable. He still
Yeah.
has one of those. He
Oh,
said it's like
cool.
he said it's like the quickest, most stable kayak he's ever been in. And again, for anybody listening, Trey is a big guy. He's 6'8". Like Trey can tell you what boats are like good and not good, and confidently, like have that confidence. You can trust him. And when he took it out, he immediately texted me and was like, "Dude, this thing is nuts." Like,
The innovative sportsman one?
yeah, I can't even think of what it's called.
Hmm,
But yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, no, I still can't. I was trying to think of what it's called, but I
Ugh.
have no idea.
Yeah, I'm getting hyped up about I'm going to have to go this weekend. I'm talking myself into it now.
Yeah, go ahead and get that credit card out.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
yeah. So I guess that's about it for us, folks, and that'll be that'll be it for the show until after the first of the year. Not sure about timing on when we'll come back yet. It's usually like around the 6th. Um,
January.
yeah.
Okay.
So, but again, we appreciate everybody hanging out with us and sticking with us through all the lull and the slow down and all that grand crap. But yeah.
It is
Anything
what
else, man,
do
before we get out
be
of here?
what it is.
It is what it is. Anything else
That's
before we
right.
close
We'll be
out?
back next year. No, I'm kind of just ready to get on with next year and see what happens. I think maybe before next year starts, I want to have this thing I was supposed to get ready for today that I wanted to try to do.
Oh, your stats.
Yeah, I wanted to build like a stat sheet of everything that happened this year, and make some like a 2023 award ceremony for
Do
random
it.
stuff.
Just because we're on the off period doesn't mean we can't record a show. So
Yeah,
the world is your oyster. You are the
yeah.
author of your own story.
All right.
Oh golly. Well, all right, folks. We're getting out of here. We'll see y'all next year. Merry Christmas if that's your thing. Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, all that good jazz. See ya.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see you
Peace.
in 2024.
Nice.